Reminds me of the old Nickelodeon logo.
All right, everyone, welcome to Weirdos Assembled. We are finally back from our short hiatus, recharged, ready to be fucking weird. So I am joined tonight at the Jesus fucking Christ, Rowdy. Joined tonight for right now. We've got more coming, maybe. We got Rowdy Yeets.
Hi guys, I'm Rowdy.
His motorcycle is not.
Yeah, that's right. I ride a V-Strom 650 around downtown Jacksonville, and um, I'm learning to carve wood.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then we've got the infamous Rainy Rider.
Yeah, I'm Rainy Rider. You can find me on YouTube at Rainy Rider or on Instagram at XRainyRiderX. I do motorcycle vlogs, ride in the rain, and I interview other motor vloggers just to try to get behind the camera and see what's behind the bars on other guys and find out things you may not know. So join me. My live streams are Sunday night at Rainy Rider's YouTube. That's it.
You guys have already found me. I did set up my link tree finally, thanks to Mike. So yeah, if you go to this profile and go up to the upper, is it upper right corner? I don't know. Anyway, um, yeah, I've got all my links all in one spot. But you're already here, so hit the subscribe button. What's up, Bleak? Jump in here, motherfucker!
Yep. And I already
Come
know I'm very
on!
red tonight. I don't know why. I swear to God, I haven't been drinking yet. But yes,
Red.
for
I
my
think you're
cameras,
colorblind.
my
You're
camera's
orange.
cracked. I may try to load a different camera. So if I might blank out and then come back. So I'll do that before we actually get really started and get more people in. I'll try that real soon. I'll be right back.
Later, Tater.
All right, so Rowdy,
Yo, dude.
while we're while Mike's go ahead. Hey Casey, what's going on, man? Um, we've been been talking about in the chat, Harley's updated colors. Now, before we get into the colors, I want to bring something up to everybody everybody to look at. So let me go ahead and share this bad boy. And I'm kind of curious about this. So this is Harley Davidson's website, as I'm sure 95% of the people watching. All right, so under the sport category, we have the Sportster S. Where the fuck is the Nightster?
Oh, maybe their web
Like, I
admin left
get.
it off.
See, if you'd have told me that 2 weeks ago, I would have believed you. But I think, and this is just me, is that they're holding something for this 120-year celebration coming up in like 6 days. Well, what do you think, Mike?
Hi, I'm
Where the
back.
fuck is the
What's the
Nightster
question?
or the entry level bike?
I have heard they were gonna do a brand new bike out of China. I don't know if you've touched on it yet,
Not
but
yet. You
it's
are quiet as fuck, though.
am I?
Yeah, come on back to the mic, brother.
Yeah, just go
Sorry.
ahead, deep throat it, baby.
Well, I guess maybe I was better being orange.
You're definitely
So
a lot prettier being orange. I know
well,
you pull for the Vols, so it's okay.
yeah, they're not far away, so I guess that's just my thing. So let me see if I can quit.
And Yankee, yes, I'm alive. 2 weeks ago will not be discussed. That is all we're gonna say.
Oh,
Yep. All right, let me switch cameras again. Sorry, guys. But yes, there's a chat. So while I'm gone, before I come back, look up the news on this Chinese 500. It's like a 400, and then they've got a 200 that's coming out of China. That's badged by the same company that does some Italian motorcycles, but they're going to do it for Honda, or I'm sorry, for Harley. Probably do it for Harley too, or Honda, but yeah, it is
No,
what it
I'll
is.
let you pull it up when you come back. I'm just
All right.
speculating as to why. the Nightster isn't here right now? Or
The Nightster's not here, I think, because they really messed up with this new 995 engine, 997, and I don't think they're having really success with it. So, but that's my 2 cents. I will be right back. Let me switch cameras again. Sorry, guys.
okay. Oh, but yeah, I'm kind of curious as to what's going on. I rode one of the new Nightsters and I fucking loved it. If I had an extra, what was it, 14 grand laying around, 100% full send.
Dude, so I know Rainey's concerned that he looks a little orange on the on the stream, but I'm looking at him on YouTube from my laptop, and his shirt does not look orange. It's less Cheeto and quite
It's
an
the cameras that
alluring.
are making the difference.
Yeah, it's an alluring shade of red.
So his last camera showed it as his shirt being the same color as my motorcycle, as my lowrider. This camera shows him as the same color as a fucking Cheeto.
Was it like the KTM colored lowrider? Oh, now he looks orange again.
Shut your damn mouth. My lowrider is maroon,
Oh, okay.
and I will hear no blasphemy any other way.
Okay, so it's not a KTM lowrider. That's cool.
I will shoot somebody over my bike. Had a motherfucker say that it was the color of lipstick, and I'm perfectly fine with that.
Yeah, lipstick okay. Now I'm seeing orange
Because
again.
I'll 100% wind up. I never mind.
Hold on, I'm gonna hold up a bag of orange chips and I'm gonna see how bright it is compared to Rainy's shirt there.
Rainy just needs to start
Yeah,
singing Rocky Top.
I may. You never know. All right, so I've got this Chinese Harley pulled
All
up.
right, let
I'll
me
show
pull
you.
mine down. But we'll come back to mine for the Harley colors. Oh yeah, Bruiser says you're using the Donald Trump filter.
Hey, Rainy for president.
Yeah, if you're gonna use one, you might as well.
Oh, okay. Now you actually have an orange shirt on because my camera's color accurate. At least I think it is.
All right, so this is the Benelli 338. It is the same one that they're going to be getting for the Harley. This is a split picture, so the back side is the Harley colors they're going to put it in. The front side is the Benelli. But yeah, that's what they're going to be making for Harley starting next year. This is a 338. They've also got a 500 somewhere in the mix.
Well, Harley has already tried to make the street models. I think it was the Street 550 or something like that, the Street 750.
Yeah, there's a Street 500 and a Street 700.
Yeah, and they performed abysmally. So again, Harley had to axe it. But I believe that was more of the what's the word I'm looking for? The vocal minority. Just trying to suppress the newer models because they just want the old way. Hi, Diana.
Yeah, Harley's got to go after the street customers before they can start making the street bikes.
What Harley's got to do is start ignoring Harley will build a good bike, and the reason that a lot of this stuff performs abysmally is because they listen to people who are not going to buy the bike. They try to make a bike for new riders, for people just coming into the market, but then they listen to the people who have been in the Harley market for 50 years. And I think that's where they're messing up, because if you're going to make a new product, you're not making that new product for the people who have had the same product for 50 years. You're making that new product for someone who is just getting into the market that wants something that looks new. They don't want a bike that looks.
They're not marketing that little 550 Chinese Tonka toy, Tinker toy, for the three of us. They're marketing that for some kid that's just learning. But Bruiser has a point. That might be because I had heard mention that they were trying to get something to use strictly for riding academies.
Yes.
So that might be where that's coming from.
Which would be a great thing. But again, on this, I found the drawing, and this drawing looks a whole lot like the old XRs. If I can throw it up here real quick.
Go for it. Now, do I think that they need to come out with make it a 750, but leave it in the form of the Nightster? Because the Nightster is beautiful.
The Nightster is a pretty bike, but again, they're looking, and that's the same thing that crashed the V-Rod. The V-Rod, when it first came out, was a fantastic bike, but you had guys who had been buying Harleys for, again, last 30, 40, 50 years. They were saying, this is trash. It's not a real Harley. You can't make this thing. So then they stopped putting a lot of emphasis on it. If they would have kept up the push for, no, this is the new Harley, this is what we're doing, we would have had water-cooled Harleys 20 years ago, and that would have been a great thing. Instead, they shelved it. They went back to using an engine that they said it was new technology, but they're still using technology from the 60s on Harleys. It's now starting to put better stuff on them. If they would have not listened to all these guys that had been buying bikes and weren't going to buy that bike anyway. I mean, the guys they were listening to had bikes. They were not going to buy bikes, just like you were saying. And they would have listened to the people that were just buying bikes and getting into the bike market. We would have had a better Harley 20 years ago, and people would have bought the shit out of it. Not that year, but probably the next year, until it became the staple. That's what the Hondas had to do, Yamahas had to do. And if you look at a Harley or a 70s, it is ridiculously different than the Honda they put out today. On the flip side, you look at the Harley from today, look at a Harley from the 70s and 80s, they almost look identical. Very few changes to them. And you're never going to grow staying the same.
I will argue, because I just recently attempted this successfully. You guys will see the video on this in the next few weeks. Taking a CB engine from the 90s, actually I think it's a 98, 99 engine from a CB, will fit in a 79 frame. What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Put your fucking BDSM shit away.
No, this used to be a dog collar. This dumbass. And it now is going in the garbage because our largest dog decided she didn't want to wear it anymore today.
Nice.
Thank you.
But no, Honda has evolved a lot over the years, but their frame style, especially for the CB series, has remained remarkably unchanged.
Oh yeah, because it worked. It was working for them. They changed the
it
things
wasn't broke,
that were
so they didn't need to
outdated.
fix it.
Yeah, but a water-cooled engine would have been a game changer for Harley if they would have stuck to it. Now they're trying the water-cooled thing, and they're getting the same thing they were getting before. People are complaining about it. And I think they're finally just going to, because of EPA regulations, and they're finally trying to sell it. They're saying, no, this is the new future of Harley. We're going to be water-cooled.
Yeah, well, they have to.
And if they wouldn't have turned their back on that 20, 30 years ago, I think, one, Harleys would be a lot cheaper now because they didn't even invest in the technology until very recently. They let Porsche do all their planning for them, and Porsche kept all that technology. They didn't turn it over to Harley because they didn't have to. It was a second party purchase. Now Harley engineers are trying to get into it. Now all of a sudden you see these Harley engineers and they're all in their 20s, and it's like, how the hell does a company this old have a 20-year-old engineer? And they're totally out of touch. Yeah, but they're totally out of touch with what Harley wants. I don't know. They're giving a lot of ways that Harley could have grown with this and prospered. And they're just now getting into it. They'll eventually get back on top because that's what Harley does. They'll finally realize what they're doing because they've got the money to back it. Harley can sleep on these products because they have so much money backing the company. So they can fail for a couple of years and then finally get out on top. And I think that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, but I don't think they need to shelve the Nightster. That's a great not entry level bike, especially not the 975, because that thing will fucking shit and get. But an advanced entry, if you will, if we were racking and stacking here. But a 500 or 750 model CC engine would be phenomenal in that category.
Oh yeah, Harley should have kept it.
Don't change the looks. Don't change the looks. Don't change the fucking any of the electronics. Just downsize the engine and the price, obviously, because
I think they struggle with the fact that if they downsize the engine, they lose the sound. Bleak, what's up, killer?
I love that backdrop.
A CB750. A CB750 sounds the same as a CB900 or 1000.
Yeah, they could have made the sound. And even though if it would have been less throaty, yes, it's going to be a lower CC bike. You're going to get that from a lower CC bike. So I hope they didn't get wrapped up in that.
So, Sinmonger in the chat was like, "What is their?" So, according to their website, at this point in time, I'm sure things will change once the 20th rolls around. But according to the website, at this point in time, come on, pop up. Come on. One of these is going to have to stop fighting. Hang on. Small tech difficulty.
Something's got to give. What do you
There we go. This is the lowest entry bike that they have, Sin. The Nightster is nowhere to be found on the website. In the slightest.
You can't climb in my lap. I'm on a stool.
Alright, and I've been a dumbass for the past 3 years because I, for some reason, I have thought that Street Bob and Fat Bob was just part of the name. It's actually meant to mean like Street Bobber or Fat Bobber. And I feel stupid for not realizing that. But the fact that they don't have bobber seats,
that Fat Bob
completely negates the need.
Can you click on that?
Fat Bob. I hate the Street
hate
Bob.
it?
Egotistical son of a bitch named Bob working at the factory.
Right
He's like,
there.
hey, I'm gonna name his bike after me.
That's that and this are the only Harleys you'll ever need in the Softail line. But yeah, which one do you want? Fat Bob?
Yeah.
Oh, just
You
to prove my
got
point real
Gray
quick.
Haze.
So you got all the fucking Softails, you've got your touring bikes, and then you've got the adventure bikes, which I'm sad that the Pan America only comes in black. Back to that. Put a pin in that.
That white and orange was pretty sick.
Then you have your one trike, but that's it. So I'm almost fucking positive that something's going to come out on the 20th. They're either going to have a smaller version of the Nightster or new colors.
Well, Harley never lets anything go. So if you look back, lineup, even back to the Livewire, they have signed so many things into obscurity just because they didn't want to make it anymore, but they also didn't want anyone else to make it just in case they decided to make it again. So they have, and I can't remember which company it was. They bought a company. They bought into a company, let them buy bikes or make bikes for them, and then they decided not to produce it, but they wouldn't sell to that company. And I think it was an early ADV bike. That bike is still tied up. I think who was it that Fortnite talked about it probably a year ago. That company is still tied up in litigation trying to be able to make their own bike again that Harley decided not to make. And that was almost 5 years ago. So Harley doesn't let things go. I promise you somewhere that the Livewire, that Sportster, the Nightster is still sitting somewhere ready to go back into production to put it back in production.
Yeah.
Even the
but they
Sportster,
put so
even
much
the
emphasis on it for the 2022 year models.
How
they
does
put
that
so
thing
much
handle?
emphasis on bringing this shit back. Oh, I fucking love the new one. The Nightster? Fucking chef's kiss on the handling. It's like riding a fucking V-Rod.
I heard somebody saying it was like a sport bike. It handled amazing. And
it does.
Yeah.
But no, my argument with this motherfucker right here, if you take off the pillion and the normal seat and actually put a bobber seat on it, the thing would look fucking dope. But maybe I'm in the minority. Actually, use the name.
I think some more.
And more colors.
It's got this aggressive, fat pig front end, but it doesn't have much in the realm of risers. It's got these little stubby risers trying to give it this sport feel. I think with some bigger risers, and I don't know.
No, keep going. I'm 100% in agreement.
Yeah, just a big old sissy bar of some kind, and that bike would be sick as fuck. Because I love them pipes, man. It's got this nice racy feel. It looks like it would be. It looks like it'd be a fat pig on the road.
Sport exhaust. It's got
at the
weird
same time,
bars.
I love it. You know, like that
So
one
yes, in
just
case you
pulls
guys
up
are
and
wondering,
says,
this is the
"I'm here.
episode.
I'm
We're
on a
just gonna
Harley."
pick apart Harley bikes
Fair.
and their poor choice in
What are our
colors
color
this
choices
video.
here? Because we got gray haze.
We
What
got
do we
red,
got for?
black, and gray.
Oh, I got to know the detail. Red line, red. Ooh, red line.
They need to put this
If
on the
that
lowrider.
if that tachometer's pin ain't red, I'm gonna be pissed.
Oh, I can't see it. I can't see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this stripped down little basic bitch bike, $19,000.
Here's my issue with Harley. I'll probably end up picking up some clapped out one eventually because I want one. You know, I want one in the worst way. But as an early rider or as an entry rider, it's out of my limit. You know, a modern Harley is the really nice ones they're top tier bucks, and I wish Harley had something more entry level. And
Well, so that's what we were talking about a few minutes ago. But it would be a 550 or a 750 that looked damn near identical to the Nightster.
Harleys, I don't know. I've never rode one. I've only rode, you know, JZ bikes or Italians, and I hear they have an immense amount of torque. So if you had a 500 that you could just race weird with, and have fun learning about that torque before hopping on. I said this in a previous episode when I was learning on my Ducati, which was an 800. That's a lot of power. I was scared at first. I had to get used to it. I you know, like anything, want to come at it with respect. And Harleys are known to be these torque monsters. I was watching some drag racing earlier. Guys just ripping them, you know, doing nooners going down the drag strip. But
So
if they had something,
that's the thing about having a like a small Harley. Like you talk about Harleys having big torque. The 883 was notoriously gutless from the factory. Like the 1200 that Mike's got, yeah, it'll get up and go, but it's the 883 that like the one I had when I first got into Harleys was just notoriously gutless, but I still loved it.
Yeah, it'll go, but it's
My
still
first big B
shamelessly powerless compared to like the BMW or compared to, you know, the Sportster S or even
compared to this bad boy right here.
even a lowrider. Speaking
You're
of bike,
talking about having a learning curve.
So, speaking of bikes that Buell has tried to put out, or that Harley has put out of business, Buell is coming back, and it's only taken them almost 20 years. But yes, Buell is coming back with a plethora of bikes. They're coming back with an adventure bike, a tour bike, and a dune racer. And if I'm not
like
mistaken,
a Dakar series.
Interesting.
Well, this dune racer is probably. Let me see if I can find it real quick. But yeah,
Oh yeah.
if you can imagine a DRZ, but with a 1200cc engine.
Yeah,
that's
parallel.
what it looks like. Let me see if I can find it.
All right, so while he's looking at that, we're going to go through the colors for the lone Sportster for this year so far. I guarantee some shit's coming out. But we have your standard black, the fucking white
sand.
and you have this, what is that, gray haze? Here, let's just fucking click on this shit.
Yeah, I want to see that white sand pearl, man. I love pearlescent.
I already get advertisements for Harley all the time. All right, so come on.
Same gray haze. Vivid black.
All right. Black, just like the one Blockhead's got.
That doesn't. So, what degree is that Rev Max motor? You guys know?
Not off the top of my head. I mean, fuck. We can probably look down.
What degree are those jugs? That's
probably
racy.
60.
Looks real racy, you know. The more angle you put on something, the more racy it gets.
Okay,
probably something odd like 62.
Yeah, it looks real out.
Whatever.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying 60, but yeah. So black, white sand pearl that they're putting on an ungodly number of models this year. I think they've had
They
white
get away
this,
with gunship
this color
gray.
on. Oh, they did away with it, yeah.
Yeah, gunship gray was the ugliest damn thing I've ever seen.
Well, gunship gray went the way of midnight crimson. They just 1-2 years fucking dumped it again.
Gunship gray looks good on gunships, and that's about it.
Yeah, the ugly white, off-white that they're putting on everything this year. Gray haze. And if you guys in the comments feel different, just let us know. We're just fueling commentary right now. And I'm really interested in this blue because I like the billiard blue. Whenever it decides to look, there we go.
Yeah.
I would like to see a soft tail in billiard blue.
I do like that color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something about it. Reminds me of like a Shelby or something. Yeah, some kind of Shelby color.
A little darker
Yellow.
than Shelby, yeah.
Would I be hung on a cross if I wanted to say I'd like to see more aluminum from Harley?
That would be the smart move for them. And I think, again, they're trying to keep from going aluminum because they want to stay
American art.
They want to keep the old heads happy. So instead of making which would be a great idea, they fight it. Eventually, you're going to see that from Harley. They're going to slip it in, and then you'll just never know.
Yeah.
But we can use aluminum alloys to make our airplanes. We can use aluminum alloys to make flipping everything under the sun. But God forbid we put it in the motorcycle.
Yeah.
No, it's Harley just needs to stop listening to the fucking 90-year-olds that are not going to be buying another fucking motorcycle, or the 50 and 60-year-olds that have their bike that they're never going to get rid of, and start grooming and catering towards the new generation.
Or the 90-year-olds that want to buy another motorcycle.
Fuck them.
They probably want aluminum because it's hard to hold up iron when you're 90 years old. At least I imagine.
Here's an observation. Almost all the bikes I see, or at least all the bikes I see, frames in some configuration or another. Is there a reason they stamp them on like mega presses? You know, make them sort of one piece, or what would you transfer that as? Unibody?
Yeah. The reason they're making those frames like that is they're water pressure bent now, and it keeps the strength of the metal. So a weld obviously is a weak point. A bolted joint is a weak point. If you can keep that steel all in one piece and bend it, it's going to stay stronger. So when they do this hydraulic or this hydro bending, when they basically put it in, fill it with water, pressurize it and then bend it, it stays a lot stronger. So that's why they do it like that. I have this hammerhead pulled up. I'm going to show you two bikes from Buell real quick, if I can.
Oh yeah.
I'll wait for.
Well, and to answer your question, Rainey, I can imagine. I'm having just a great time right now. A Buell sort of Dakar rally style bike. God, I think it would be beautiful, and I have many a daydream about on some crazy powered off-road monster.
Okay, I have so Goon still has his up. I can't share until his comes down, and I think he froze up.
Yeah.
Okay, let me try this now. Okay, so this is the Buell Hammerhead, the racing bike. That was a lot like the old Lightning that they had. And then this one, if we're still, let's see if I can get off of here now. Yeah. This is the Baja, which is their dune bike. And if I'm not mistaken, this one also is 190 cc's.
Yeah.
So Buell has some weird stuff coming. They've also got a adventure bike coming that is going to be, if you look at it, it looks a whole lot like the Pan America.
I'm getting Mad Max vibes.
Oh yeah, this thing is going to be boss.
That looks like
yeah, they've been tied up in litigation with Harley for almost 20 years now, just to be able to again, because Harley has just handed them a fistful of poop.
Well, and I've always loved that sort of rim-mounted rotor configuration.
Oh yeah. Can you imagine the power on that brake?
Yeah, that's so sick.
That would be insane.
God, a racy guy, the guy who's working on my Connie, he had a bike with one of them done up that he had said he got the front end off of Buell. It was cool.
All right, but yeah, there's some really cool stuff coming from Buell. And it's Harley is just one of those, like I said, they have ruined at least 10 companies that made stuff for them, made bikes for them, got into the entry, and then just trashed them. And we're going to see hopefully we won't see it with this Chinese company, because Benelli is also into that company, and you'll see Benelli step off the market too, probably, if they do it again. But I don't know. I'm excited to see new stuff come out, but every time they say we're going to have a brand new release, and they did this last year, brand new bike, brand new this, brand new that, and all they change is the color. Rowdy, are you okay?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they also had the what the fuck am I thinking of? They announcing the fucking ST series.
I think that because they had something to release and it wasn't ready, and to keep from having a black eye and looking embarrassed, they just released whatever they had.
Yeah. Although I still maintain that the ST is the biggest slap in the face to anyone that bought a 21 model bike.
And I think that's what was supposed to come, and they didn't release it until late because it wasn't ready, so they faked it. I think that's what happened. I'm gonna eat my sushi. Sorry, guys.
You're not a fan?
No, you're good, man. Oh no, I love the ST. That's the problem. I bought a 21. Well, bought. And to turn around and get, all right, cool. You have the latest and greatest. No, we're gonna put a better touring fairing and bags on it for $3 extra grand. I would have handed that $3 grand in and been like, okay, put that shit on this bike with the 3 extra cubic inches that don't mean dick. Eventually,
Yeah.
Sid's supposed to be here, y'all. She's somewhere.
I brought my sushi with, so I'm that dedicated to the program,
So I do believe that we are going to start streaming this every Saturday now, instead of every Friday.
Yeah, works for me. Definitely, since now that I'm working Friday nights.
I think that was the general consensus. Yeah. Well, I would like to get viewer input too, if it makes sense that more of them would be available to hang out with us on Saturday nights instead of Friday. Looking at y'all.
Yeah. You people.
So it equates to guest consensus, which is nice.
Yeah. A lot of guests had asked for Saturday nights.
Yankee, which bike are you asking about the Rotax engine on?
What works is if you get your fucking ass in here, Aaron.
Hey, Aaron, come on. Not you. You fat clown.
Nothing at random. Me and him have keychains. I dig it.
Talking about the Keep It Weird or whatever it is, the one I have on the Lowrider keychain.
No, me and Aaron both have the Game of Thrones and What Do You Say?
Oh.
Yeah. Not today.
Yeah, I want that one.
Yeah.
Not to.
Yeah, Yankee, I think that is the Rotax. A lot of good stuff at the end. And I think Harley got jealous of their success, and they were afraid of them breaking away. So they basically just, it's like having a good employee and afraid that the good employee is going to take over and fire him before he can take over. I think that's what they did to Buell. Buell had such good things lined up. and they just hamstrung them.
Oh, look who it is.
People don't give the V-twin enough of its own due. If you look at what John Britton did with, he was out there in a field racing against bikes that revved way beyond. We're doing stuff with their engines that were incredible, and he comes in with this V-twin, all at their own game, you know, designed a bike himself.
Yeah, Kenny Roberts' Proton, same thing. He built such a bike that was so advanced that other racers are scared of it. It's insane. Side note, I still would like BMW raced one time in the King of the Baggers and then was never invited again.
Oh yeah.
So, well, King of the Baggers is a Harley thing. And it was supposed to be a take on all comers. We've got the baddest baggers on the planet thing. And it turned into, whoops, we'll only race against people we think we can beat.
Oh.
Well, they did that with dirt track too. That's why the Indian FTR had to go through so many changes to make it fair. You know, nobody likes getting beat at their own game. But there's also an analogy like that where it's like race on Saturday, sell on Monday or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was Yamaha's slogan. Yamaha or Suzuki won, but yeah. And it's a shame. I mean, it takes all the thrill out of racing when you know that they have to cut it back to make everybody equal. And they do the same thing in NASCAR. They basically
they have.
Yeah, and they did at Moto what is it? One where they race through the streets. They literally all have to race the same engine. Because so many advances were being made that it was unfair to some of the to Honda. Basically, it was unfair to Honda because people were actually out racing them. So Honda actually ran that series and said, "Now you have to race our engine, and you can't do anything to it. You can't tune it. You have to race it like it is out of the box," which seems absolutely unfair. My
dad was a race car driver, and I grew up around heavy racing, going to track, sleeping in a box truck, watching my dad race dirt track and open wheel. And lately I've been watching a content creator called Stapleton 42, who does NASCAR history. And it's stuff. In fact, I think from watching this guy's sort of docu-series on the early days of NASCAR, probably grown a closer relationship with my father. But what's so amazing about it is you talk back in the Busch series in the late 80s and some of the guys in the Winston Cup series in the 90s and some of the cheating they were doing. Cheat up the cars, as they'd call it, get them cheated up. And some of the innovations they were actually coming up with to become faster, you know, from hydraulic jacks mounted in the wing to give them a little, get them out of the air when they needed to be, and offsetting the axles a little bit. And the innovations that happened in race are not hamstrung or hogtied by rules, I think, is really the backbone where the fun comes in, you know?
Yep.
How can I eke out 1 or 2 more horsepower or a little bit more traction in a hole than you?
How's it going, Chase?
Yes, Indian was in the King of the Baggers, and they were dominating. Then all of a sudden, they weren't. All of a sudden, you saw no Indians. I remember watching like the second or third one, where all of a sudden, Indian had the first one and the second one, and all of a sudden, there was no Indians in the third one. It was like, how did this happen?
Yeah. I watched a bunch of them King of Bagger races, and series, man, really fun. I hate hearing that stuff because it sounds like I already done effed it up, or started messing with the regulations or the rules or something, you know. But that was a cool series.
Just knowing that the the Indians have such more horsepower, more power, period, more torque than the Harley. Next thing you know, it's an equal board, and that's bullshit. And they're definitely not I mean, just like NASCAR, it's definitely not the bikes you have in your garage. They can call it a Cavalier if they want to. It sure is not a Cavalier out there on the 500 track.
No, not at all. Not in the slightest.
I think at one time
For
I remember
racing.
the track. Yeah, I remember 1/6 of the car has to be from the production of what the model is. It might even be less than that now, but
it was shell, and I think some of the dimensions. That was it. Underneath there, you had a completely hand built, a subframe and roll cage in one. You had the top racing performance parts built by people who'd been doing it for 30 years. Tires specifically for tracks, and that would give you traction and place. Racing is so incredible, the stuff they're doing in it and how it trickles back into our sort of normal market. Yeah, innovation.
Chase is saying that Indian won the 2022 title for King of the Baggers.
We're all furiously Googling.
Good.
So I joined really late. I wasn't even sure if I was going to be able to make it to this stream. Is the topic of discussion moto races?
It's turned into how fucked up Harley is, but I mean, yeah, we're evolving. I mean,
okay. I have never watched motor races. I knew it was a thing. I've never watched any of them.
It will get your heart, my friend.
Yeah, the only motorcycle races worth watching is MotoGP and dirt bike races. Even these stadium races now have just turned into an acrobatic show. There's less racing than there is just showing off.
No. Yeah, GP flying by at 200 miles an hour. You got bucking so fucking hard. Oh, I'm sorry. So hard they just throw the rider off the track. Imagine you're riding your motorcycle and you're just thrown 30, 40 feet in the air and off. Some of the stuff these guys are doing is just insane. And now they've got it down to where they'll slide for 200 feet and in a nice controlled area where it gets hairy.
Oh yeah, and I used to watch like Isle of Man, the tourist trophies.
Oh yeah.
And you're watching. I mean, you could be watching the race, and all of a sudden they're following leaders, and then they're like, "Oh, so has just wiped out, went through a barbed wire fence. Oh, we think he's dead," and that really puts a damper on those. And
it claims like one person a year.
Yeah, people live for those races, but I mean, it's like watching a horror show, except that it's real, and that makes it kind of hard to watch now. If you ever get to watch the series, I think it's called The Deadliest Race on Earth. It's about and just about everybody they show on there that's raced it more than 2 or 3 times has scars all over their face, has scars all down their arms, because they've all crashed at least once, some of them 5 times.
That show was fantastic.
One of the people who survived that race, Guy Martin, he's crazy. If you want, he's a nutter, but loves it. I mean, just has all the spirit of racing. But he's out there doing things. He's building airplanes, and he's building cars, and he's building Pikes Peak bikes, and he's out there already on the edge. So I mean, that race is right up his alley. Some of the other people I think I watched maybe John McGuinness do an attempt, and I mean, it's such a race. You can take a top tier racer and they'll just get whooped by it. Absolutely come in disheveled after
I think I saw a thing that 250cc racing in Japan kills more riders than Superbike or MotoGP because the bikes are unregulated. And it's a 250cc bike, but the killer on those big tracks like that is wheel spin. You'll see now Superbike and MotoGP both have so much torque control and spin control. They hardly ever wreck the bikes. If they lose it, it's because something electronically has gone wrong. But, and I can't remember whose racer it was, and this was probably about 10 years ago, but they killed like 3 racers in one race. And they had shut down their small track racing for a long time, trying to figure out why all of a sudden are we killing all of our racers? And that's what it was. It was they had, even though they're only 250cc, the performance had eked to such a high level that now it's not like anymore. And I'm sure some of y'all have seen these 250s. It'll go 120 miles an hour, and they're out there now.
Yeah,
they'll fly.
Big bore kid in it.
Well, it's not even a big bore kid. It's just that they have power management is not what it used to be. I mean, now it's like you can squeeze, 80 horses out of a 250cc engine, no problem. And with transmissions and gearing and just driving the bike and never having to slow down, now they can keep going and going and going.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I love racing. I love these races, but
I love it.
It sure gets twerky sometimes.
Yeah. I'm the type of guy that, is bouncing off the couch while watching a race. If somebody overtakes somebody else and I see everything's on the line, about to wipe out, I don't know, I get into it.
I think another thing is these young racers are very unseasoned. And I think it was the faster. It was the show about Monkey Boy, and I can't remember what the movie was. But basically, it was a dude from his village just got into GP, was racing with him, and he was dangerous. And the other racers were like, "Look, if you're going to drive like this, we don't want you on the track with us." They made him be more courteous because when you're driving small track, you can bump, you can get close to people, you can get in their way.
2-3 of you going through a corner at one time.
Yeah, you really have to be concerned about your fellow rider when you're on track with those super bikes.
Yeah, because domino effect is real.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we've dominated for 10 minutes, how are you guys doing?
Yeah, tell us about your 30 horsepower bike, Aaron. Aaron, I love you, right?
39.5 horsepower.
I love you, right?
So, when you're going down a hill, I mean, what's the top?
So in Mexico, on the interstate going downhill, I hit 101 while tucking and praying. Because after I got past about 95, that bike didn't feel like it wanted to stay together. Nothing's loose. I checked everything that I could after I got home, but nothing was loose. It's just, I think, way too light to go that fast. Yeah. And I know that, even though, the Ninja 250s and stuff, I'm pretty sure they're lighter than my Rebel.
Space Shuttle Columbia.
Yeah, but a lot of that's aerodynamics, man.
Yeah, but that bike is
Columbia on re-entry.
Yeah, no, that bike, I hit 101 and said that's good enough for me. I hit triple digits.
Dude, I would give you shit, but I've made no secret of that. My Harley, the Sportster, 80 is about its max, and it don't like being there, but about 15, 20 minutes. And then it's like, no, you're shutting down. We're going back to 70 or like it or not. So that's where it likes to be. You keep it at 70, it'll go all day. It'll never stop. He gets unhappy. He gets very unhappy.
I know it's hard to believe, but I have gotten my Rebel on multiple occasions up to 80, 85 and kept it there. Pretty much the entire time I'm riding down through Georgia, I'm going about 80 on the Rebel, and it handles that fine. But once I start to get into the 90s, the 500 just starts to feel real odd. It doesn't get like a real nasty shake, but it just doesn't feel right either. I'm not sure how to put it into words.
80, 90 in Georgia is easy.
becomes unstable.
Once you get to Florida and you hit that unofficial 3-digit speed limit.
Oh yeah,
no,
I get all the way in the right lane, and I hug that right line, even though that's not where I should be. I go there because of people in Florida. Like, I will still say the two iffiest moments I've had, one of which was in Georgia, and I almost got run over at a stoplight. But I would still arguably probably take Georgia over Florida driving.
What part of Georgia?
Driving and riding. Anywhere except Atlanta. Not Atlanta. Screw Atlanta. Screw the Atlanta bypass. It's all awful. I'll say last March going to Forgotten Angels, going down through Atlanta wasn't bad. But coming back
Chase
through
was
it was
calling
a
you out in the chat.
Oh, well, I should probably open chat.
Well, we'll chill at 100 as long as the rider is able to handle it.
Sounds like he's trying to convince me to get a Bolt.
I think he's just trying to convince you to not be a bitch.
You might be too tall for a Bolt.
The Z900 I have has that bikini, and at around 110, it gets what you're describing. It feels unstable. The front end feels like it wants to walk around and not be connected to the road surface anymore. So that's about where I've taken that bike, and I think that's completely based on this shape of the front fairing and how it's cutting through the wind. Whereas like a lot of the sport bikes, they're literally missiles. I mean, they just cut through the wind so efficiently. There's no resistance, and it makes the bike stable at those speeds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I call the BMW, I call it the German canoe, because once you start catching wind, it just wants to sail. It gets lighter, it gets more agile, and it wants to move faster. I've only had it up to about 124, and it wanted to go faster. I didn't even, and it just kept wanting to go faster and faster and faster. They say it'll top out at about 168, 172. I would never get it that fast, but the faster you go, the more stable it gets. It's crazy.
Yeah, the lowrider just keeps wanting to give. So I've never been truly brave enough to tag it out. Probably be the last day video I ever make will be me just tagging it out. But yeah, it's just the gift that keeps on giving.
The only reason I went that fast with it is because somebody told me that it wouldn't go above 104. And then I did 110, and I said, yeah, I'll go 110. They're like, oh, you're probably just drifting. That was the end of your governor. It was just still giving it gas. So I had it out about a month later, and I got it up to 124 and held it, and I was like, okay, this is all I want to go. This is a little bit scary. Yeah. I'm too old for this shit. And brought it back down.
So chat's beginning to wonder why we haven't devolved into debauchery yet.
It's because our female bad influences are not here tonight. Absolutely dump it on them. Oh, there's Parker. Parker's here now. We're gonna now it's gonna go to shit.
One of the bad influences here. Chase, just so you and Parker are aware, you can still the invite to join is still open. There's plenty of room.
If I run into any issues on my attempt in March to go to Forgotten Angels, because I don't know the Connie well enough, and I'm trying to max it out and see what some of my limits are. It's a 20-year-old bike. If I'm going to run into a problem, it's probably going to be at high speed doing something stupid, right?
Well, you're not going to run into any problems because you're going to have all of us there with you.
That's true.
Make it down to us, and we'll hook up with you and make sure you get there.
Yep. As long as you can make it to me, Aaron will already be here, and we'll have a couple people from Michigan, and then we'll all just ride down together.
Made it to Atlanta on a cafe racer.
In Atlanta.
All right, I got. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, you're good, buddy.
How are any of you riding right now?
Cold. I'm
Like
riding
my ass,
dude. So I got a story. I want to share, and it's all my mom's fault, and I mean that in the most angry way possible. So
horrible.
So she got married last weekend. last weekend, and she wanted me to be at the rehearsal dinner because my job in the wedding was to, as the guests were being seated, make sure my grandmother got down the aisle okay in her wheelchair. I'm like, all right, sounds like an important job. I'll do it. No problem. And so she decided to get married in Gainesville. I live in Jacksonville, and it's an hour and a half away. Not a big deal. I left at like 4. It was 60s out. Life was good. I left in a shirt and a light jacket because I'm an idiot. The sun had started going down. The air felt like it was in the 40s at this point, and it probably was that day. So on the back of the bike on 301, doing 70 miles an hour, it got a bit nippy. To the point where I had to pull over like every once in a while just to have like shiver breaks and like head into a gas station and warm up. And I called her when I was in like Stark, and I was like, "Look, Ma, this isn't happening." And so I decided to turn back. It took me 6 hours to get home because of all the stupid shiver breaks. And oh yeah, it was dumb. And Emily finally came and grabbed me like at the last 30 minutes home and brought me my liner and my proper jacket, the stuff that I should have been wearing when I walked out the door. But man, it was a crappy day, dude. So I'm not gonna lie.
So there's a lot to be said for, one, wearing the right gear, and 2, for creature amenities on the bike. Things like the heated seat and heated grips will take you extremely far.
Oh, I had also recently removed the windscreen from my V-Strom.
Well,
So, as the
blow the whole
reason
leg
I
off.
rode down to Nashville the other day on mine, and it was a nice, calm 65 degrees on the way down. Starts snowing on the way home.
Nope, y'all can have all that crap. I'm in Florida for a reason.
I was a very
So-
unhappy goon.
as the resident cheapskate poor person, I just ride and deal with all things, and regret the decision after I get home. If I freeze,
Like a
I
man.
freeze. No, like an idiot.
Spoken like a young man.
Yeah, like March, the coldest I've ever been on a bike, which is probably going to change in the future, but the coldest I've ever been was coming home in March. I had like practically no clothing on. I had jeans, nothing underneath them. I had on a flannel and then my, at the time, leather jacket. And when I hit southern Kentucky, the temperature dropped to the low 40s before the sunset. By the time I hit Cincinnati, it was 30 degrees, and I still had like 2 hours home.
Is anybody else still having problems hearing me, or is it just Parker?
No, yeah.
Parker's just dead.
Yeah. So Parker, I'll tell
it
you,
was 36 here today, and there ain't no way in hell I would be out like Parker and Chase riding right now.
That's brutal.
Love both of
36.
y'all. Fuck.
That's
no.
hardcore, Chase Parker.
That's where I
hardcore.
started the Forgotten Angels trip, leaving here. Not willingly doing that to myself again for a long time.
yeah, with the exception of yesterday because it was snowing on the way to work, I ride to work every day. So it's just, you just got to gear up right. And
Yep.
as someone said, the key to riding when it's cold is just let the cold kill you. Because if you complain about it, it just feels colder and colder and colder. Once you settle down to the fact that, yep, this is it, and you can still feel your fingers. Now, when you can't feel your fingers and your feet, it's a good time to stop, but it's going to feel cold. It's just like, Goon, I'm sure, understands this. The first 500 yards of a run feels just like the last 500s of a run, no matter how long. The first part always sucks. Somewhere in the middle,
Embrace it.
it's going to suck 5 miles in just like it did 500 yards in. You just got to keep going because it's not going to get worse.
This is a question I'm going to regret asking because I'm going to regret if the answer is yes.
Yes.
When you do things like this, do you get things like pneumonia?
No.
Really?
Pneumonia is not caused by being cold. That's your resistance is being down. Is what, and the crazy thing is,
Having a
it's forever.
immune system
Going
that's
out in the
bitch is
cold
how you get
makes you more
pneumonia.
healthy. The only thing that'll give you pneumonia is getting moisture into your lungs. So you're more likely to catch pneumonia being inside and going out real quick and coming back in than you are for going outside and staying outside.
All right, I do regret asking this question because now I have to do some experiments.
So,
But thank you for your input.
No,
For
we're not
me-
doing any experiments with this. You're fucking high.
You've already
Let's
done
do
enough
experiments.
experiments. You just stop.
Experiments sound important. It's for science.
For me, so far, the only time that riding in inclement weather, again, which has been a very short experience, was coming back from Forgotten Angels this October and riding through the 500-ish miles of rain in the mid 40s and low 50s. By the time I got home after being soaked in that all the time, it wrecked my shit. I woke up Tuesday and I had no voice. I was foggy. I just had a really nasty cold for a few days.
Wait, well, to Rainey's point, that might not have been caused by your ride because I was also under the weather when I came back, and I only had to go back to Jacksonville. So
Yeah,
I think we might have all
as long
had
as you have the link.
something.
I want that
I think-
Amanda Zitto gear. Man, she rocks some stuff that looks like it's warm and weatherproof, and even her helmet has like the most visor space I've ever seen. To where
Amanda Zitto does have some great shit, but you should look at what Doodle rides with.
the same. She has just some top-notch gear that looks like you could be going through the. I can probably be toasty warm. I don't know. I don't have that. It keeps pushing me towards. Anytime I'm in the bike shop and I go over to that KLIM section, I'm blown away. Like I don't know. The gloves are $250 to start. I haven't even looked at the rest.
I am a firm believer in Revit jackets. I'm also a firm believer in any kind of riding pants because they make such a huge difference. You know, I've got the one set of built pants from Cycle Gear, and I've also got a pair of Wicked Gear pants off of Amazon. They were both about $50, and they were absolutely exactly the same performance. Actually, I think the pants were probably $99 from Cycle Gear, but the Wicked Gear was only $50. And 10 out of 10 highly recommend. But it's one, it breaks the wind. Two, it has a thermal layer and it keeps you warm. Then all you really need to worry about is your hands and your feet and your neck. I always have a gaiter. I have a poly gaiter. I even have scarves I can wrap around my neck if I need to. But that's the key to riding really in the cold is keeping the wind out of your helmet, keeping the wind out of your sleeves, and keeping the wind out of your legs.
So here's a question for you veteran guys. On the couple long distance trips I've taken, the wind going into my helmet actually did become a problem where it like dried out my throat. And by the time I got to where I was going, my throat was killing me. How do you solve that? Might be a dumb question. I'm sorry.
A polar fleece
I've never had that
gaiter
issue.
is what I use. Yeah, I'll take I'll pull the fleece over the cuff of my jacket, and then I'll push it all the way up into my helmet right here. And it basically, the chin guard, the breeze guard, or whatever, the breath guard, whatever they want to call it, keeps it down. It basically holds it there and keeps the wind from getting in your helmet.
And if you can't find a proper gaiter, there are lots of reasonable substitutes. Like you can grab, a lot of different things from the dollar store that'll work just fine. Like if you get a pair of bike shorts or something like that, put it around your neck, leave the other leg tucked into your jacket, works just fine.
Or just loosely wrap a scarf or a towel around. Don't do it tight. Just do it loosely because the looseness, catching the air pockets is what makes it thermal. So just loosely wrap it around your neck, shove it up into the helmet, and you'll be good. And as far as tucking things up into the helmet, a modular helmet makes it easier to get things up into your helmet.
I've thought about one. The beard. In fact, I removed that normally sits right there at the front of it. That wind guard you're talking about, just because it was like wrinkling up my beard.
Have an issue because I was about to say I don't see how you have an issue with all that extra beard. Just fold it up.
Well, it's not like a fleece lining. It's just a beard.
It's just like a fleece
lining. It looks like a fleece lining.
Yeah.
It only has an armor class of like 2.
Hang on a second.
That's like plus 10 cold resistance.
That's the Nazarite beard, dude.
That's the same as me having one of these motherfuckers on. That's like this.
When mine's
And
long
I'm
enough that I can
jealous
wrap
as
it around my
fuck.
neck, I'll be happy.
Weird.
I would love to have one. I just can't with my current
Yep.
occupation.
Yeah, they're all right. They get itchy.
I'm also really hoping that now that this has decided to go away, that it will encourage more of this later on.
I wish mine would make that decision. Instead, I have a fucking implied mohawk, and I'd rather just be bald at this point. Because what I do have is very incomplete, you know. So I'll go ahead, and then I'm running around with a shaved head, wishing the head would just do whatever it's gonna do. Because the whole landing strip, I'm over.
Nathan? Oh, that's great. Oh,
The chin curtain. That's funny. Oh yeah, got some gear. Got some gear. Okay, so instead of like a baklava, you do a two-piece. Oh yeah,
What the fuck did I just pull back into?
he's getting gooned up. Oh yeah, look at that.
Hey. Copyright.
You got a couple more cameras pointing off and a night vision, man. You're ready to go.
See, I left my skull cap at work. Whoa, hey Parker.
Hi, hello, how are ya?
You got any cocaine in your ass today?
How's the new digs?
No, I wanted to, but Chase said no.
Damn him.
Cocaine in my ass.
Here's what you do. Talk him into dumping the cocaine on your ass and snorting it off, and then real quick before he can snort it, shut up your ass.
There he is.
Gentlemen.
Cheers, guys.
I'm too innocent for everything that was just
Is
said.
so delayed.
Oh, you weren't in the chat earlier. They were talking about shoving
You're
cocaine
so
up
full
your
of
Yes,
shit.
it was you. Talking about shoving cocaine up your ass. It was you.
Look,
No.
man, like I said, I tried to get him to do it. He wouldn't. It's
Cocaine.
fine, whatever.
Loser.
But he did make me
Prison
dinner.
wallet.
So.
See, Goon, I'm the resident like angel here, the good Christian boy that's done no sins.
Hey, Rowdy,
So stuff's going in your prison wallet.
do you remember Chase and I saying hi to you on the last time that we saw you on this live stream?
yes, I do.
I'm
Really?
surprised Ryder remembers.
Yeah, I
Were you
fell
saying
asleep
that?
very quickly after that. That was more exhaustion than inebriation. But yeah,
Sure.
I think. Oh, but I don't know. It wasn't recorded because YouTube decided to delete it. So
To be completely honest, that could also be said for Two Old Goon as well.
no,
I remember
it
that
wasn't
stream. Thank you.
legit. We dug into that hard. I was furiously coding the next day, and I think we finally all figured it out. Me, Mike, and Goon. Me, Rainey, and Goon. We figured it out. I think the problem is that YouTube has a 256 gigabyte limit on its videos. So like, it's not a time limit from what I was able to see. It's a size limit on the video itself. So if we were to like downscale the stream a little bit, maybe go lower resolution, go a little lo-fi, we could probably stretch it out a little bit longer. That's my guess.
Yeah, because that's what I was talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
See,
Look,
Aaron knows.
Chase said, hey, I was nodding off, which is what I'm doing most times, but I took a nap before this episode, so I'm good to go for a while.
Forgive me, Mother Mary, for my sins.
Good for you. Good for you.
You're trying to build fires. Because if you try to say that was tired, I'm
Was
absolutely.
I
gonna
blowing
fight you on
stuff up in
one.
that episode? No, I blow stuff up totally sober. That's the only way to. That's the only way to do it without losing eyebrows. And I like my eyebrows;
Oh
they're
no,
pretty.
you almost fell into the fire trying to light a paper plate.
Yeah, dude. I was like, is
You
he
want to do
okay?
that again? I'll do it again right now.
That
I've got
was
lighter
not from
fluid.
Tired, dude.
I've got lighter fluid, and I'm ready to go. And I've only had a glass of wine, a can of Miller Lite, and a little bit of Lord Calvert in it. So I'm okay right now.
Okay, so glass being bottle, can being 6-pack, and a little bit being an entire fifth.
I have evidence. I have evidence.
Florida
I
man.
will. I will provide evidence of my lack of inebriation. Look at this.
I think
One
he
hand
drank
in
the
the
whole
right,
bottle last
4
time. of wine.
Polands, scooch of Calvert.
So can we pull this back into motorcycles? You guys were talking about like how we rode today. Honestly, it was not that bad. And going back to Rainy Rider, yeah, it definitely has a lot to do with the gear because we look, man, when we moved from New York to Nashville, like it was so freaking chaotic. All of our stuff just ended up in boxes, and I would be like, "Hey Chase, what do you want to do with this? Put it in a box. Put it in a box. Just like put it in a, like let's just get everything in there." And
The answer is box.
I tried to organize as much as we could. All of our motorcycle stuff ended up getting like strewn throughout like 5 or 6 different boxes. But today we were like, we need to ride. It's only 3 minutes, like a mile and a half down the road to this next bar, so let's go. But we had to like search for all of our stuff, but literally that gear saved us. My fingers weren't hurting at all. You know, like the only thing that got cold on me was that gap between your neck and your chin from your helmet.
Yeah.
That's it.
Now, do
As
you
long as you
guys?
have good shoes, good pants, a double layer on your chest, some good gloves, you're fine.
Do either of your bikes have the creature comforts? You know, the heated grips, heated seat.
No, no, we're OG.
Gotcha. Rock on.
Yeah, but I think maybe if we were going to do like big rides in the fall up in
Like
New
if you're
York,
gonna ride to
we
South
probably would
Haven,
have done that.
like if you're gonna
Well, I
ride to
mean-
South Haven and see some guy in
Yeah,
Mississippi.
Nah, dibs have already
maybe.
been called. I'm the first visit.
Why don't we
Yeah,
all
you're
just
like
do
right
one
Chase, you got some
massive,
plans over there.
or make it easy? We can all just do one massive meetup somewhere in Tennessee.
That's exactly what I was just trying to talk to you guys about on the Discord the other day.
I am
Duh.
for
It
it.
was my
Meet
idea
up with.
first.
I want to meet up with Randy Ryder in his studio so I can be on his show.
Come
That'd be
on
cool.
in. You can be on my show anyway. I actually plan to have everyone on my show eventually. You know, either through the face to face like this because I think it would be awesome, or stop by and we'll have open up a. It's a no lose situation. I mean,
Yeah.
I found just the people I've done so far. I found out so much about them that I didn't know. So it's
You had
just as a
intriguing
friend,
questions.
I learned so much about people. Yeah, and I think I'm getting better at the questions. I think I'm getting better questions, and
There's a show
I
called
put
Hot
myself out there.
Yeah.
Sean Evans, and he has
Yeah.
like the best questions in the biz, and
Yeah.
that's the vibe I was getting from you on that show. Like Sean Evans shit, and getting some good questions, like finding out, you know, who Indigo Moto was, and it was great.
Yeah, she was very. She was very. Even Spaceman Spiff. I find out stuff about him I didn't know. You know.
Yeah,
And
cool guy.
it's just another part of it. It's just another side of people that you don't know is there. So I have a totally new respect for everyone I've interviewed so far. I have a totally new respect for them because I found out more stuff about them. I mean, how can you not? So tomorrow's is going to be Smokey DeVan. So
Oh, that's awesome.
I've never met him in person. I got to see him one time, but I didn't even get to talk to him. So tomorrow is going to be something new for me, interviewing someone I've never actually talked to before in person. So that'll be my litmus test, I guess. Trying to, for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
You
been
I've
following.
actually been like watching back.
Next weekend's
I've been
Aaron.
watching back on these videos, and dude, these interviews, the questions that you're asking are actually very poignant.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah, you're on the chopping block. You know that, right?
Oh, God damn it.
As soon as you
Don't
guys
do
get
that to
settled
me.
in, you are so interesting, and it's really all the same questions that I meant for them all to be the same question. If I ask you one question and I ask Bleak the same question, you're going to answer it differently because your brains are in different places. And that's what I find so fascinating about these interviews, is because I'm asking the same questions over and over, but I'm getting absolutely different answers because of the way people's brains are formulated.
All right, Barbara Walters.
Barbara Walters. I love. Welcome to Barbara Walters. I love it.
Rainy Waters, Wonder Hour.
Honestly, seriously, do Chase before me because he's a lot more interesting than I am. I guarantee you.
I can't. Me, being bartenders in New York, I bet y'all got some stories.
Couple.
That's that old. I come from the '80s, and there's a film, Cocktails and Dreams, I think it was, that really sold the idea of being a bartender in New York and the glory and the high life and rubbing people across a couple of feet of mahogany, and it really romanticized the bartending industry. I've never forgotten that.
Yeah, I actually watched a movie kind of similar to that. I had this man who ended up becoming a bartender. I think it was called Cocktail or something like that.
Yeah. That's the one.
You're such a
Yeah. Well, I was a bouncer in a bar in Chicago, and I tell you, there's nothing romantic about it. It's just a bunch of drunk people in there trying to.
Yeah.
Side note, so
Drink different in Chicago.
So somebody answer me this. So, the Journey song about meeting strange people, "Don't Stop Believing."
Mm-hmm.
That's my theme song. That's my theme song. Has everyone slowed down and realized that song is about hooking up in a bar with strangers?
Yes.
That's what the song is really about.
I actually performed that song in high school on our 80s night. And I looked at my choir director. I was like, you realize this song is about sex, right? She goes, we're just gonna not tell anybody about that. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
The freshmen are gonna love this in 80 years.
Well, part of the song is about picking up prostitutes on the street. So
yeah,
this is not a song that's this is my theme song. What about catching herpes? That's your theme song, really, dude? Congratulations, Mister. You're level 3 now.
It's like that Christmas song that's super rapey. That Baby It's Cold Outside.
Oh no, that's a nice song. I like that. He's way too pushy. She should have maced him early on.
Yeah.
Can we
that's a YouTube video that needs to happen. The woke version with just the regular lyrics. Just like
I'm completely lost. Like 6 people talked at once.
Yeah.
Bleak, Aaron, what are your favorite holiday Christmas songs?
I like Winter Wonderland as redone by a band called Collision Zero.
Ooh. I'll need to listen to that.
Yeah, the front lady for that band, I think she's like Becky Garber is her name, and she is one hell of a front woman with just this real aggressive style and really just makes.
Cool. I'll check it out. What about you, Aaron?
None. Christmas is like my least favorite holiday.
Same.
So I don't really have a favorite like Christmas song. I actually kind of find most of, if not all of them, appalling. But part of that also comes from I worked at Subway through most of high school and all of college, and from like before Thanksgiving until pretty much New Year's Day, all I would ever hear at work is Christmas music. So it burned me out pretty quick.
There's another.
So,
Stop handing out your foot long.
D. Snyder, famed frontman for a band called Twisted Sister, did a Christmas album. That's phenomenal.
I'll have to check
did
that
it
out.
really?
absolutely agreed. The Twisted Sister Christmas album is fantastic. It's one of my favorites. and it makes Christmas one of my favorite holidays because there's a lot of really great metal versions of Christmas songs out there that are just freaking awesome. Dropkick Murphys,
so good at metal.
"'Tis the Season" is one of my favorites. Yep.
Okay, if
Okay,
we're
so
going that
petition
route,
to have,
then
like,
I would have to
a whole
give
Christmas-
either Apocalyptica or what is the other one? Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Trans-Siberian is
They're-
awesome. I
like
saw them live. They're
renditions.
amazing.
Yeah.
I do
Oh, yeah.
like the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, but I also do like orchestras in general. So
I'd like to petition for all of us to see if David and Cindy would allow us to do one Christmas at the Forgotten Angels campground.
Oh, they absolutely would. They do it every year anyway, so why not?
We could just
Why
show
wasn't I invited?
Interesting. Yeah, they already do
Everyone
that.
was invited. Everyone was invited. They said,
Well, all
everyone
right,
come
so we're
out.
not just doing it. Let's go.
You know,
They came
I
out.
would
They
be-
did it.
Why weren't you
They
invited,
said-
Parker? For obvious reasons.
I would be down to do that, but once I came home, I would be murdered.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
Yeah, man. What a great place to do Christmas, though.
Oh yeah,
That'd
I
be
think that
cool.
would be great. That would
We
be
got a
a
whole year
great
to
thing.
plan. So, what was the next question on the chopping block two-wheeled?
So, one of the other, I mean, we didn't actually go through all the colors that Harley had, but I mean, you have 5. The only one that gets anything special is what, the Heritage?
Hey,
Yeah,
Oh,
didn't
it-
Video has some
He-
wazoo color.
Yellow or something going on, yellow and white, yellow and
Yeah.
cream.
Yeah, I think it's a gold on the Heritage. It's some type of
Yeah.
but it looks like burnt orange to me. The
Some of them
picture
yellows
doesn't
can
look-
get
we
some really,
pull it up.
really deep
color.
depth. You know, yellow Penske
Yeah.
team's race yellow. Oh my God, it was beautiful. You'd fall into it. I mean, just multiple layers of brilliant. I love that Heritage up close, that yellow and cream one.
See, the
Oh,
picture
let me see if I can pull it
completely
up.
turns me
Hang on.
off to it. But my mom almost bought a burnt orange car. She got to like borrow one and test drive it for a little bit years ago, and I thought it was the ugliest color. In the picture,
Oh, is it this
looks
one?
the same color. So it in person might
Yeah,
look
it's a
different,
gold.
but the picture alone completely turned me off to it.
Okay.
Now
Is it? It doesn't have any gold flake in it, does it? It just has that glimmer.
Doesn't look like it. There it goes.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Doesn't
Yeah.
look like it has any flake to it.
See, if my Heritage had that on it, I would probably barf.
Yeah, I'm
that's
not a
kind of what I'm
fan.
saying.
No,
It's got
that's-
the
That's for
billiard
old man. I'm
blue with-
sorry.
I kind of like that.
I like the blue and gray.
That one's not bad.
If
I could dig that.
Hey, can I ask you guys about what you think about the bags on the new Heritages versus the old ones? Because like those old school bags had all the like they were softer and they were just the leather. These new ones, like this new I don't know what to call it, the new generation of Heritage Softails, they are hard on the ends, like they have this harder interior with the same soft bag outlining. What do you guys think about that?
That's
So
the
that's
same
the
thing
kind of
that,
bag.
that
So that's kind of like
Viking
Viking
does.
bags has.
Yep.
And that's the ones I've got on my lowrider. I actually really like those.
So you guys would prefer these bags over the ones that say Diesel has. And his are like the OG like soft bags.
These are easier to take care of.
I agree. However, if you go down, they don't fold inward on whatever you're like, they will destroy the leather.
Don't go
It's
down.
happened to me.
Don't go down. Problem solved.
Okay, well, thanks. Not all of us can afford the fact that we don't have to ride over roots.
I mean, it's a personal choice like anything else, I guess. You can always get, even
Yeah.
Viking has regular leather bags. So, I mean, I'm sure that you
Yeah.
can probably get a change out. You can do a swap.
Yeah,
I mean,
honestly, I will
If you're
say though
going
that the
down
leather
though,
is a lot thicker. It's a better quality because I thought that there was a lot more damage done to it. Not that much. I mean, like, yeah, you can tell that it went down, but it's not that bad.
so Parker, ADV is my like intentional riding choice.
Okay.
Mostly because when I first started riding, I lived on dirt roads. And so that's part of the reason that I have the V-Strom is because it like wants to be an ADV bike when it grows up.
Yeah.
But I combined it with this really sweet soft pannier that I had on mine when I came down in March or in October. And it's called the Green Chili ADV kit. And so like it's all like webbing and stuff, and then you can just get crazy with carabiners and hooks and freaking, shock straps and stuff like that. And you can the guy that designs it, I think he does it out of either South Carolina, he does it out of the Carolinas, and he stitches these things in his house with his own industrial sewing machine, puts them together. But the way he's put it together is that like it's like Legos. It comes with like 60 mounting points. You can strap freaking fuel tank holders to it. You can strap everything to it. So it's like this is the most kind of elaborate modular. It's pretty sweet. Like I really love Green Chili stuff. Yeah,
That's cool. I actually like that.
My point there was if you're going to go down, just have soft bags like textiles, not leather, because it's easier to wax textiles and stuff like that to keep them waterproof, or just shove a trash bag over all of it because trash bags waterproof everything.
Hey man, I just bought like a whole 140 pack of kitchen bags for us to move with, so I've got plenty. Anybody want some? Please take them off my hands.
You'll eventually use them.
Probably.
Oh yeah, 100%.
No, that's very wise. I didn't even think about that. Cool. Thanks, man.
That's what I'm here for.
That and teaching us all how to get very inebriated and also wake up the next morning.
Oh, I don't need to teach any of you that. I think it's a natural response.
These are valuable life.
Don't call me up.
I mean, he did make a really awesome video about how to like shave your head.
I did a shave. Apparently I can't shave today because I didn't. But Parker, we need to shave your head. We need to shave your head.
You know what's funny? I just told Chase I was going to do that yesterday.
Wait till we do it on video. I'll get it on video.
You know what? I actually might. I've been thinking about it.
If you let me do it, I'll mug shave it for you.
Oh, see that one? I don't know. I don't know about that.
Not straight blade, but mug shave lather. You have not had a great shave until you had a mug shave lather.
What is a mug shave?
You're right. And hey, you know what?
You'll find out at the next Forgotten Angels.
My dad actually makes handles for like traditional razors and the latherers. So
you were talking about that. Your father makes the custom pens and the.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Oh hey, guess what? Hey Chase, you want one? Too bad. It's mine now.
Oh shit, that's right. You guys can get those in Tennessee.
When I tell you that he got so excited when we went to Kroger.
Yep.
Now, what's your favorite flavor? I like that Baja Blast.
Okay, I basically hate them all.
There you go.
But I like the watermelon and the black cherry.
They have a hard Baja Blast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
No, of all of them, I actually
godly.
Buddy.
See. I'm about to throw out a hot take. Of all of them, I think the Baja Blast one is the worst.
Did you pair it with tacos?
I was disappointed.
There you go. You haven't paired it with Taco Bell yet.
I didn't. I found them at a random gas station.
You fucking failed at life again.
In April with all my friends when we were in my car. I bought 2 12-packs for myself, and we drove all the way home. We didn't stop. And one of those didn't make it home.
Oh, no. So across the street from where I'm working in Nashville now is a Taco Bell cantina that also has a stage. So there's live music. alcohol and Taco Bell. Like,
Hell yeah.
where else do you need to go?
Right.
All right, I'm gonna need the
Trying to
address.
think if
You
I know
reached
where
the
that's
Mecca.
at.
I'm gonna need the address.
Yeah, it's in Nashville, across the street from Coyote Ugly.
Okay,
It's amazing.
I'm gonna look it up. That's my first stop when I hit Nashville now.
Yeah. We're gonna go there before I have to do my shift, and then we're gonna get fucked up. It's gonna be
I'll
great.
just be there the whole time.
I don't know
Yeah.
if this is public knowledge yet, but when I worked at the brewery, we were getting Sonic drinks ready to go to market. So the
the Sonic seltzers?
flavors, yes, and the
Those are
ocean-
good. The cherry limeade
the
one's my
ocean
favorite.
water. Oh, they're good. I was on the testing panel when I was at the brewery, and there were plenty of times that I literally just got so messed up. I went back to my office and just like read a book for 2 hours waiting to sober up. And
That's hilarious.
it was very good. Yeah. Now there was
Chase, do you remember
downsides
that?
to that.
The Sonic seltzers. They're so good. I know that's what we're talking about.
Am I the only person here who has never had Sonic?
I think
Yes.
so.
Apparently,
You
that's 'cause
are
you're
indeed.
only
you
12.
okay?
That is sad.
How your mommy
never
bring
saw
you to Sonic?
So, ironically, the first time I ever saw a Sonic was when I moved here, and there's one down the road. I still haven't been there. I was told it was trash and not worth getting.
Okay, well,
Those
if that's the
drinks are fucking
case,
awesome.
It's totally worth getting.
then that must be the best one. Because Sonic is inherently trash, and that's what they're good for. It's so good. It's so bad, it's good.
Sonic is
So they
good for.
opened
I
one-
don't like their burgers and stuff so much, but their chicken strips, their onion rings, their ice creams, and their mixed
Chili cheese foot long.
And the jalapeno poppers.
Well, they had for the longest time they had all the different kinds of hot dogs. They had New York hot dog, a Southwest hot dog.
Dog.
They had the Chicago dogs. They were so good. And then now they don't make all the other ones anymore. It's just a chili cheese and the foot long. But
Oh, that
they were
Chicago
so
dog
good
was
for so
great.
long.
It
Yes,
had
it was
Dune is
little
over here like,
on
why
it.
are we still talking about food? This is a motorcycle channel. God damn it.
because we get hungry on our trips. We
Yeah.
ride to the campground
Their milkshakes.
and then we go look for
That's
food.
right.
It ties right in together.
Yeah.
Ride
Yeah,
somewhere,
well,
get
that's-
drunk, and go look for snack food.
Did you guys watch Chase's video yesterday?
I
Yes.
watched it this morning.
Yeah, his entire channel turned into a food blog.
I didn't get to hear all the food blog. They were talking about food, and then they blanked it out for 20 minutes. They said, "Here's us talking about food." I
Yeah.
missed that whole part.
This is
So
literally all they were talking about for like 20 minutes.
I would have totally tuned in on that. Why did you blank it out? That sucks. Foul.
Yeah.
Party foul.
See? That's why he lost subs.
Should have left it. Yep. Stop talking about Taco Bell.
People
You
like
lost
food,
subs.
man.
They were angry we didn't find out about the special spots in New York.
Well, if they had watched a couple of episodes before that, that's what you need to do. So, okay, actually, this is a good question for you guys. How often do you, so at the end of the video, whenever it gives you the opportunity to, God, I don't know, help me out with the terminology, babe. So whenever you're closing out a video and you're like about to render it and edit it and all that good stuff, and it allows you the option of, do you want to add the next video that's going to be in it, or do you want to do a video? What are they called?
I do
Chase?
previous video. Yeah.
The end
It's-
screens?
Yeah,
it's
the
the
end
screen.
cards or the
End cards.
options.
Yeah.
I'll do
How
the-
often do you think those are utilized?
I use it every time. So I'll do the last video and then
I do it all the
recommended for
time.
viewer. So
You
it'll
will click.
Mm-hmm.
That also, and what do you guys do? Because I know that some of the videos that I watch, it's usually murder and mystery. I like, they'll have like their channel here, and then the most recent video and a recommended video.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Would
don't want to
that-
cloud it up. Yeah. So I do Premiere Pro, and it gives
That's
you
usually what I
a
do.
bunch of different things you can use. But I don't do. Obviously, you're already on my channel, so you're not I don't need my logo up there. So I'll do my previous video and the next recommended. If you don't put anything up there, it'll just push you to somebody else's channel. If you do recommended, 90% of the time it'll push you back to one of your old videos.
Yeah.
So why push you to somebody else's channel when the next one that's going to play is going to be mine?
Uh-huh.
So in the few videos I've done the preview where it shows, my little YouTube. I don't really have an icon yet, but it's my face and my bike, and then I do my most recent video. So the previous one before the newest one. Which reminds me, I haven't videotaped anything in a while.
I videoed a shitload of stuff, and I haven't been making the videos because I've been spending my time for the interviews. I need to get my shit together. I need to delete all my old shit and make new shit, or get that shit into a file.
Exactly.
So,
Footage and just seeing what I can put together, because I've got tons of old footage from 2022. I shoot 3 times the amount, makes it into a video, maybe 4 times that amount. And then I'm going through, I'm like, this is dragging, this is no point to it, and I just start cutting, and I do so much cutting to get down to like, I'm a tiny channel, tiniest of footprint. So if I can grab your eyeballs, it's not going to be for long. And so I don't try to do a shade tree surgeon 46-minute video, because I don't have the base that's going to stick around. Oh, there's Bleak, give me a couple minutes. And then on my analytics, my viewer retention is they move on quick. So I try to keep it short, but I end up with this huge stockpile of footage that still has plenty of stuff in it,
That stuff's all B-roll. Like you can use that, just interleave that, make titles with it, whatever. Like it's all useful, even if it's on the cutting room floor.
I just got 2 new GoPro 9s
Shorts.
and filming with those, and then I went back and looked at the old video, and I'm like, holy shit! Now my 8s and my 7s look like ass. I didn't even want to use that old video anymore. So now I'm thinking about just ditching all of the 8 and 7 footage and just doing just the 9 video, because it's literally night and day. One, it's easier with what I had before is I had an 8 on my helmet and then a 7 on the handlebars, and whichever one I rendered first, it would render the rest of the videos to fit that format. So if I put the 7 video up first, then I would have to shrink all my 8 video. With the 8 video up, then I had to enlarge the footage from the 7. With 2 9s, I use the same format on everything, and so it'll be so much easier. But I just need to figure out what I'm going to do with it.
Thank you, Tubo, for giving us some options and visual representations. Love that.
Mike Branch blew my mind with the I think it was him that said, unless you're a really big channel, YouTube does not give you the bandwidth to upload 4K. So don't even do, your video will look like shit.
Yeah.
And now all I do is 1080, because knowing that I had been uploading all my in whatever the highest format available was, and I'd watch the video like, why does it look like I'm playing Minecraft? This is awful. Then I started putting it in 1080p, much better, way better video.
I just click the YouTube option and it puts it into YouTube's format.
So I now have a question. I've noticed every premiere that I've uploaded for my own stuff, when I'm rendering the video, I'm not seeing it in 1080p in my program I use, but after it's uploaded, it is. But during my premiere, my quality looks awful. But if I watch the entire video again right after my premiere ends, it looks fine. It looks proper 1080.
That's because you've cached it locally at that point.
Yeah, it hadn't loaded HD yet. If you watch your video when you stream up, the first thing it does when it first loads it loads a very basic format. About 2 hours later is when it will render HD and you can watch it more clearly.
I mean, even after it's done loading HD. So if I typically, if I release a video like I have in the last few times on Saturday, is when I set the premiere. It's uploaded and done by noon on Friday. So it's HD has already finished finalizing.
That's because
everything.
of the codec.
What's happening?
Over here.
At the codec and the bit rate.
Your browser is caching it.
You can explain it better than I can.
Your browser is caching it locally, so the second time you watch it, it's on your disk. So it's not so much a YouTube thing. It's just a Chrome thing.
Okay.
However, Premieres are notoriously lower resolution for smaller, smaller channels. You go to someone like Josh or Shay or someone that has more than 40 or 50,000 subscribers, they're in a new bit rate, so they get better push.
See, I didn't know if that's what it was. I never even thought of that. I just figured, something on my end was bottlenecking the resolution quality, and it's just coming out as meh until.
No, it's
no, and
YouTube
actually that makes really good
bandwidth
sense.
for bigger channels.
Right, because YouTube has a limited pipe
But
themselves.
This does bring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this does bring me to another question that we were talking about in the Riverside chat a little bit ago. YouTube has recently changed some of their policies on videos.
Yeah.
And this is retroactive to all videos, regardless of when they were published, is they will be changed. Like how when you're putting a video up and it'll ask you, is this video suitable for children?
Right.
And obviously you click no, especially if you're trying to monetize. Now, if there's any swearing in the first eight-ish minutes, it's automatically tagged as not suitable for children.
Right.
Always tag mine
another
as not for
thing,
children anyway.
If you can see that are not for children, you don't get this from YouTube that a channel that is creating content suitable for ages will. It doesn't have the backing behind it,
And well, the only reason that I realize this is a couple of the other people that post videos that I talk to. A lot of their videos have come back being flagged recently because, I don't know how to put it. I know I use a lot of foul language, but I'm not really concerned about it. But they're starting to get into that monetization portion of their channel, so they're actually trying to make something, and their videos are constantly getting flagged.
Sure.
And one of them challenged it, appealed it, and then all of their videos wound up getting flagged for the same reason.
Yeah. Don't bite the heads.
You guys feel, because this is effective, I think it was mid last month, and it retroactively applies to all videos that you've ever posted.
I mean,
I'll keep putting mine
Their
as
platform.
not for children, because I would rather push than to put something on there that says it's safe for children and then get flagged and then get my video held up.
Get a strike
right.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I think it's pretty stupid, but I kind of grew up as YouTube was coming out. I wasn't an adult. Then I was, the kid in school that was unsupervised, and YouTube was a lawless land. Like, I'm sure everyone here has heard of the Whitest Kids You Know.
Yeah.
And a lot of their skits would not survive today if it was
Definitely not
mainstream media. That's something like we have, but the generation that's now in like high school, if they saw it, no, it would be
canceled.
Yeah, canceled. Thank you.
Oh yeah, everything out that was out 20 years ago, even 10 years ago, wouldn't survive today. Kids in the Hall. I went back and was watching some old Kids in the Hall skits, and they're all labeled as But I watched this when I was 15.
That's why a lot of the Comedy Central stuff's more on like College Humor's website and not on YouTube's website.
Yep. It's like what was the show?
Skateboarder, and the movie of my time called Kids. It was very aggressive in New York. It dealt with drug abuse, domestic abuse, rape. It dealt with all the topics that are completely you can't talk about now. And that was, I want to say, in the 80s, early 90s.
Do we need to wait for Goon's kid to leave?
No, he can't hear a damn thing.
Oh, thank God.
I promise you, he's heard he's heard far and above much worse.
Oh, I don't doubt that.
I was like, there's a child in the feed.
No,
I completely missed that.
The AI auto-generated text stories, we had to wait for one of Goon's children to disappear before he could bring it back up. And we're going to leave that as something that never gets to see the light of day on the stream because it
That was so bad.
You guys rocking some
We'll
chat
get
GTP?
Holy cow! I needed a shower after that freaking 10 minutes of our time.
It reminded me of the one time I ever got on Tumblr and decided that I never wanted to go back to Tumblr.
That chat app, that AI chat app, phenomenal.
Sid was having some fun with it.
Is that the one with the Russian girl?
No. There's one called like Chat
of the human condition.
Been using it to create documents to send tenants because it does such a nice job. You can put in some parameters like damage to a property, but do it in an upbeat way, and it'll print you out.
Oh,
very well written. Sort of. Hey, I just want to check in with you and see how we can help.
I kind of want to bring up this
don't
word generator now.
Don't bring it up, man. Just leave it. And it's got me wondering what parameters you put in, buddy.
Well, no. Even when we went back
Bruiser,
and put in
Miss Goon was the one that was like, no, kids shut this shit down before the kids see it.
On a kid on your bike, which you probably don't, then just none of your content's suitable for kids. I don't want kids on my bike. Just no.
I don't give a shit about your kids. I can watch your kids fall off a bike all day long. Any Letterkenny fans in here?
That's the content you would see with my son.
I've never seen it.
And that's the kind of thing, again, like Jesus, I think it's safer just to label everything as not for children, because if you can watch this video, you're opening yourself up to such a huge can of worms. Then people are going to nitpick your shit. Then they can lock up all your videos. And the first time you show something that you think is funny, you're going to have some mother saying, you said this was safe for kids, and my 9-year-old girl watched this, and now she's scarred for life.
Sucks to suck, bro.
You know what?
If your kid sneaks in and watches it, that's your fault. If I say it's safe for your kid and they watch it, that's on me.
Yeah.
Beyond even terms of service, they do things over at YouTube that I don't know. I didn't get no email about. So today I uploaded a video, and the comments are disabled. I've never had a video where I disabled the effing comments. I always click, allow everything. I don't care. Let people say what they want to say. I'm the one putting myself out there, So they disabled my comments. They had it in this experimental mode. I had to go back to the studio and find out what the hell was going on. And it says mode. What the hell is experimental mode? Turn the comments on. I was trying to do a giveaway in that video, and no one can even chime in with an answer. So,
oh no, it happened to be on a giveaway? That's sucks.
That's why you mentioned giveaway somewhere. And so then their anti-spam bots came in and said, nope, clamping down because nobody gives anything away for free. That's un-internet, un-American. I don't know.
Patreon already
that's probably why they shut you down.
It's not un-American.
It's
very un-internet. It is uncapitalism.
Yeah, it's uncapitalism.
In Patreon, if you don't click the box that says you're giving away, it might be for tax purposes, who knows, but if you don't click the box that says that your channel gives away material gifts that can be taxed, and then you come out and say that you're doing a giveaway, we'll strike you.
There's a lot to that too. Like in the state of Florida, if you're in a charity, you have to, even if you solicit for donations on behalf of a non-charity, like an organization that's not a 501c3, you still have to fill out paperwork with the Department of Agriculture and Commerce that says, I am going to solicit donations.
I think it was Blockhead.
The fact that he actually knows what number it is astounding to me. I'm just saying.
Blockhead got in trouble for giving away a bike. And that's why Blockhead now doesn't do Patreon giveaways. He does his website giveaway. You got to go to his website to register for all those giveaways.
Did you hear that? Blockhead doesn't do Patreon giveaways anymore. He does it through his website because YouTube and other states are not allowing non-taxed giveaways.
Yeah.
Okay, well
YouTube and
then
other
I'm just late to the
states?
party. What?
Did you just say
what she
YouTube
says.
and other states?
I support what she says.
Yep.
It's the state of YouTube. I'm
You're
with it.
absolutely
I
understand
said
what
right.
she says.
YouTube and other states. I meant other states than the one that we are currently living in. Okay.
I wasn't
Shut
arguing with you. I was just remarking on how really enlightened that is. Like the state of YouTube, the state of Facebook, the state of Instagram. These are
Marker, you
He's
should
states
mention
whining.
the
Let him
nuts
do
with
whatever the fuck
UC
he
on
Their
here.
country's temporary alliances.
I'm leaving.
All the
I'm
big
just kidding.
social medias are. They're like countries with temporary alliances, waiting to go to war with each other and acquire each other.
They're all
Hey,
based in the
Bleak, I
Caribbean.
feel that. I'm from Texas and we've been trying to secede for a very long time. I get it. Wow.
Yeah, Texas is nice.
Anyway, so
I like that
motorcycles.
place.
And then there were
Yeah, motorcycles. Harley has a very bland color scheme coming out this year, and still no
I
Nightster.
really don't like it.
Welcome back to
I
the
mean,
original fucking
I-
storyline.
I kind of like the what is it? Sand white pearl or white sand pearl?
No.
Oh, did you see that? What was it?
The Lowrider ST. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Diablo?
One of my
She is gonna
friends-
fuck it. Colleen is gonna love that bike.
Same. One of my local friends up here sent it to me. He saw the announcement and the color release before I saw it. Sent me a screenshot. And I was drooling over the picture. I was kind of also hoping that it would be that light blue that Harley used on a lot of bikes last year and the year
Yeah.
before.
It needs to be
Is that-
billiard blue.
Nah, I don't like it. It's too dark blue for that for me.
Fuck
I like
the
that lighter
white.
blue they used.
Now I have a question. Is that white pearlescent or is it?
No,
Nah,
No, it's not.
it's just
I
white.
don't think it
Just
is.
dirty
I
white.
think it's white sand.
Chase said it's
pearl is what they're
pearlescent.
calling it.
Chase is disagreeing with you guys.
I mean, I think
We'll
there's
see on
one
the
at Fairfield
20th.
North. I can go look.
I'm not
Chase
getting in.
video.
I'm not getting in between this, even though I'm technically in between this.
In the background, and he is rocking some great big flesh. Like, are those like quad aughts or something?
I don't know.
Flesh
Them are
what?
big. Them are
flashlight
that's flesh
right
tunnels.
behind her head.
No,
Flesh
that's
tunnel.
what
Plug-
Sky wants.
they're
people to
hollow,
send
so
him
they're
in
not
the
plugs.
chat.
They're
Tony,
flesh
that's
tunnels.
not a good idea, bro.
Isn't a flesh tunnel the same thing as a
his-
flashlight?
His piercing.
Yeah, they're talking about your ears, dude. Chase, they're talking about your ears.
the
Not me.
gauges.
What are your gauge earring thingies called? No, what are they called? They're not plugs. They're tunnels.
Flesh tunnels.
Tunnels. Flesh tunnel.
Tunnels.
Back to
Oh,
back to
Flesh
the
tunnel.
That
flashlight.
sounds awful.
That's just as bad as flashlight.
It's because they're not gauges. The
Riley's
gauge
got Riley's
is what
getting
your
Forrest
ear
Whitaker
is.
Up the solid. The flesh tunnels.
So,
Whoa,
Yankees,
it's not a
Yankees
bullet, it's
wondering what we
actually a
think about the
cartridge.
yellow. It's actually a gold. And yeah, I do
Verbiage
think they were going for
and
retro,
words
but it
matter.
does look
Okay,
like a
Chase?
fucking mustard bottle.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the gold is on the Heritage, but I think the Road King just straight up got a yellow, like a pastel yellow. It
Ooh,
looks
gross.
awful.
Oh, is it the banana yellow?
It kind of looks like a pastel banana yellow,
Chase said that
I don't have it closed.
Chase said that the Road King got the same as the Heritage.
Oh yeah, then it's that burnt gold.
So whatever it is, it's a burnt gold and it's gross.
Yeah.
If it had
It
like
looks like
gold
Dijon
fleck
mustard.
inside of it and
Uh,
maybe like a mahogany stripe on it, I would probably see it as like an old man bike. But no.
I think it was the Pan America then that just got like a straight bland yellow.
Pan
And
America.
it looks
So
like-
Pan
guys,
America did
hold
get
on,
yellow.
hold on.
Yeah, it looks awful.
Y'all see it? That's janky.
Yeah.
That's
That is straight up janky.
Crayon
they had
yellow.
those colors in the 80s and
Like that is a
90s.
juice.
Yeah, that's crayon yellow, man.
Juju,
That's a
say
cat.
hi.
So you guys moved to a place with birds and the cat.
Seriously, they're like Why is there so much room in here?
Their hunter instincts are coming out.
Well, I saw your guys' shorts where both cats were in the window watching the birds, and you're like,
That was funny.
they're mesmerized.
Seriously. Juju had a yard at one point, actually 2 points, and she loves birds. She loves sitting up there and watching them, but she hasn't had that opportunity for a very long time. Rico, however, he's born and bred in New York and very rarely gets that opportunity. So when he does get up here, it's like, I'm in a coma. Have I died? I'm pretty sure I've died. What's going on? I don't know. It's really funny. But yeah, Juju's like in heaven right now.
The Pillion says Chase looks like he needs a hug. Why is he being so distant from us?
Oh, I will hug him very
I
well
thought he
for
was
you
reading
later.
I thought he was into some book or something, man. He's like deep in thought. Yeah.
So speaking
No,
of
let me
colors
finish
that
this
don't
chapter.
suck, can I another motorcycle?
Yes.
Be my guest.
As long as it's not a BMW.
He's hardly going to do that Diablo paint job. It's like Milk Toast, you know, because
Seriously.
So here's one that doesn't suck.
For real. Okay, so this
And
one, this
Here's
color,
one
I
that doesn't
actually
suck again.
Oh,
Oh, you like the
really
blue?
enjoyed.
I like that. I like that.
The
I
one.
blue?
I like the purple.
And then the purple. The purple paint job, I think,
I
is
like
like
purple.
it adds $1,800, which I like the purple, but that iridescent, I don't know. I won't pay $1,800 to get it.
I'm sorry, but that's
I
not a Harley.
I
That's a
dig it.
fucking BMW.
said it's a real motorcycle.
Hard.
I'm sorry, you said real motorcycle? At what
did say it
point
was
is
a
it a
real
real
motorcycle.
motorcycle?
The part where it goes
What are we
boom,
defining
boom.
as a real motorcycle?
Well, I mean, according to Juice,
Or when you go
BMW
this
is
and it
trying to
goes
Don't even
sell
get me
Harley
started.
right now. Ugh.
A real motorcycle is something that I can ride.
You can ride that.
I don't want
I'm
to.
gonna keep my
You
mouth
can-
shut
but-
on that
I
one.
mean,
Should.
you can ride anything if you try hard enough.
I mean,
Chase said I
anybody-
need to calm down with my verbiage.
Yeah, you're gonna get it struck. What's the hell?
I'm just kidding. Actually,
Hey,
that bike
since when
looks
did Chase
really,
have
really
handlebars?
fun.
Hey, some people pay to get hit.
And you know these people?
Chase, I have to pee. Will you
I
take me-
plead the fifth. These are questions you could be saving
Everybody
for your
introduce
interview
me
next
to
week,
Chase,
Rainey.
please. God damn it, Aaron.
Hey, Chase.
What's up?
How you doing, brother?
Great. How are you guys?
You look
What
great,
are you
tonight,
reading,
man.
man?
Rowdy looks fucking 9 sheets to the wind. Damn, man.
Rowdy is 9.5 sheets. He's about
His
to catch
eyes
something
are
on
as red
fire
as the
again.
devil's dick.
That's gross, man. What's up, Chase? Nothing, man. I got this chair here, like this like leaning recliner chair that has been like the best place ever for me ever since we came in here. There you go.
Look like you're
I'm
lost
like,
in a
I need-
book.
Chase is
I
going
need
full
one of these,
dad.
man. Chase is gonna fall asleep tonight before I do.
Probably
Dude, I
not.
fell asleep in this thing the other night. It was great. I woke up at like 6:45 in the morning and I was like, oh my God, I feel amazing.
Yeah, they're nice on the back.
Yeah. Pumpkin like hits me up out of the blue on a day and she's like, dude, there's a bunch of recliners coming. I'm like, wait, what? She goes, yeah, I ordered a couch on Facebook. I'm like, okay. I guess I'll help the guy carry it in. Anyway, dude rides. And so like, I don't know, it was funny how it worked out. I've been sleeping in that thing almost every night. I pass out in it and I'm happy. Dude, this chair is more comfortable than the freaking bed that we got.
Oh, a recliner?
Yeah.
My parents got a couple few years back, and it's the same way with them. I'll go there and I'll pass out as soon as I sit down in one.
Yeah, man, this thing is great.
There's something nice about being able to elevate your legs, but not flat or laid down. You know,
Yeah, it just puts you in that good, like, your head is up, so it's not, like the blood is going out of it, but your body is like cradled, and it's good.
Oh,
yeah,
nah, I
cradle. There you go.
disagree. my grandmother had this recliner. I can't even tell you how old it was, but it would lay almost as flat as a bed is. My brother and I fought over that when we moved out as to who would get to take it. Like it got intense to the point of we were actually trying to throw each other around to like claim it. And he won. And the funniest thing is now is that he's actually moved back with my grandma for a little bit while he's kind of bouncing between jobs and houses because he's moved across Ohio like 3 different times already. So while he's trying to figure out where he's putting his roots down, he's moved in with her. So that chair got put back in its proper place. And every time I'm over there, I purposely take a nap in it.
Oh, hell yeah. That's a full circle chair story.
You know, I've made the comment a couple times like, well, since I have a house, shouldn't I be the one to take it right now? That doesn't go over well with him.
You flexed on him.
Yeah.
I see you.
Well, a little bit, but
hey, since I have a house, why don't I take that chair, dude?
Yeah, but I'm looking for a recliner that can go as pretty much as vertical as it can get. I can't find one.
Well, there's one over at your grandma's.
Well, yeah, but I apparently can't
Keep
take
flexing
that.
on him. Keep dropping bows on your brother. He'll come off it.
Well, no, if I keep doing that, he might just come and kick down my door.
He's probably going to be like, you got a house. I'm going to come live with you.
Oh, hell no.
I'll bring the chair today.
Even if I gave him that choice, he would rather be homeless than live with me.
Honestly. So this recliner couch set is thebomb.com. I don't know who makes it, but it has a cubby. It plugs into the wall, and like it's got USB chargers and places for.
Oh yeah, I've seen those. Those
and
are
a place
tight.
for your dogs.
Oh yeah.
Oh, no, kaboom, baby. It's okay. There she goes. Anyway, and the recliners themselves, they almost go completely bed flat. Like there's just enough uppityness on the head area and enough uppityness on the leg area. They're still kind of sleeping in the shape of a U. Yeah, best purchase pumpkin ever made.
Oh yeah, man, those are great.
I'm living on the other side.
The coolers in the center console.
Oh yeah.
Talking about recliners, couches.
Oh yeah. Dude, can we? Hey, give me a second. So here's what I need you guys to do. Just send us like $1,000 each so that we can get a really good house and some really good furniture, so we don't have to hate ourselves anymore. But until then, we're all gonna do a shot. You guys ready?
Mine's on the way. I sent my bartender to get something. Hang on, I have interference.
Bitch, get me some whiskey.
Who's the bartender tonight?
Here we go.
Wait,
Ooh,
I
Lord
have to go all
Calvert.
the way back to my kitchen. It's like the other side of my house. Do I have to go get something?
You know, Aaron,
you
sound an awful lot like a
mixed.
Oh, fuck you, Chase. Those fighting words.
Ooh.
You wish you could.
I'm gonna go all the way across my big ass house.
It's fighting.
You dick. Alright, we're gonna do a shot with you guys, and then we have to watch a movie. So.
I need a glass. Hang on.
Have to, meaning I'm tired. And I'm probably going to fall asleep during it.
I got a Tully shot glass that I'm going to put Lord Calvert in, so I think we're going to be okay. Trying to save the moment.
Excellent.
Cheers to you.
Ah, shit.
All right.
All right, princesses. Bleak, where you at?
Aaron, that's the same one I had to get because they were out of regular black. I had to get the I thought that was the Dungeons and Dragons version. No, I had to get the Game of Thrones version.
Yeah, no, this is just the
You
regular.
got the regular.
black.
Okay.
No, that was the birthday bottle that I just opened.
Note to self: if Parker joins, I got to keep shot glasses handy.
What? Wait, what'd you say?
I said if Parker. Oh, no. Who was that question directed at?
That doesn't help.
I don't know. You know what? It's because I turned this off.
Yeah, it's because you put this light on right behind us. Obviously, somebody doesn't know how lights work.
Shut up, man. I'm not a YouTuber.
You want the light behind the camera, not in front of the camera.
You know what? I'll be behind and in front of it. So shush. All right. You guys ready?
All right.
Where's Bleak?
Again? Again? Okay.
Again?
Sure. No, you gotta be in the shot too, Chase. Come on. What are you, a YouTuber or what?
No.
Randy, your glass is a little full.
Well, I fixed it.
Huh?
Ta-da! Where's Bleak?
Cheers.
Bleak, you gotta drop your. All right, are we doing this?
Blake is clean, so he's probably dropped out for us to do this.
Oh.
So.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go. That's better. All right.
All right.
Cheers, buddies.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, y'all.
Happy live stream.
We love you. Bye. We love you, Chase. Bye.
Before you go, when are you going to be on my live stream? When are you going to do my interview?
When you asked me to.
Parker, do my interview.
Give me a time and a day, buddy.
Tomorrow, 4 o'clock.
Okay.
Fuck, that was easy. All right.
All right.
All right, everybody. Thanks for coming to Radio
I will
Nights.
be
I'll see you
very
soon.
drunk.
You'll be drunk?
I'll set up the
Okay, make some more even.
so you can do it.
Cool. 4 o'clock. Let's fuck it
All
up.
right, I'll be here. Thanks,
Shit,
Bart.
I'm scared.
Or PM.
What?
Who's gonna be up at fucking
AM
4
or PM?
Well, I promise you, probably none of us are going to be up at 4 a.m. on
4 a.m.
purpose.
is actually better for me. I'm
Well,
kidding.
I mean,
I was up at 4
no,
a.m.
if you're
today.
serious.
No, actually, we have an entire extra apartment downstairs that we have access to, so that would work.
Well, Parker, what time do you get off work? Because I don't get off work till
I don't
about
work
11.
tomorrow.
Well, I get off work. Well, we can do it during the week if you want to. I get off at 11:30. You don't get home till about 12:30 at night.
I work Monday, Thursday, and Saturday. So any other day.
All right, so we can do it. I'll get with you later this week, but yeah, I can do it either before work or I can do it after work if that's easier for you.
Tomorrow at 4 still works for me.
Okay, then we'll do it tomorrow at 4 o'clock then.
All right, cool.
All right,
Sounds
thanks,
good.
Mark.
See you tomorrow.
Now I got to set up.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Deuces. Have a good one.
Aaron, I hate you.
Deuces.
Yeah, I know.
Your hair is just too nice.
It is. Everyone's jealous. I mean, just look at it. Beautiful locks.
Luxurious.
Absolutely.
All right, well, we've covered all of our topics, and we've avoided high rates of debauchery.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well done, team.
We have slowly, by purpose or by not,
We've matured.
cleaned ourselves out. Yes.
Now you just
And
ruined
Rowdy's
it by
almost
saying
stayed
that.
awake.
I still missed.
Yeah.
I'd say if anyone's in danger of falling asleep, it's me. I've been up since 3 this morning.
All right. Well, I have a feeling it's time to call this one to a close.
Yeah. Yeah. I had to go get blood to children this morning, so I'm feeling a little peaked myself.
Good for you,
Yeah,
dude.
Yankee, we are slacking, but I don't know if it's a good slack or a bad slack in this case.
Well, I've been trying to get my
Actually,
my live
Goon, you
streams
can
to an
answer that.
hour, so.
What have your analytics been like on former live streams? Do you see people hanging with the whole recorded version after the fact?
So,
Metrics, man, metrics.
Metrics. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay.
But for now, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it. We'll be here next Saturday, same time, 8 p.m. Central. You guys got anything to say in closing?
Thanks everybody for coming out. We've enjoyed it like always, and thanks for hanging with us.
If you're here, you need to find something better to do with your Saturday night.
You shut the fuck up.
I will
You're
apparently
welcome,
have
but I
2
came
live
here and
streams
got to see
tomorrow
my
night.
beautiful
So tomorrow at 4 p.m. Central and at 6 p.m. Central, I have some live streams. So everybody come by and check those out.
Yep.
I'll
Make
be sure to
that
come
you-
by for the 6 p.m. Central.
I'm gonna try and make both of them. I'm gonna try hard. In fact, you know what? Hold me to it.
Is that going to be the
All right.
anything hard you do?
And I expect I got Aaron on the chain already, so I expect you two to get in there sometime. Blake's already
I'll
signed
get you
up.
next week.
Jump on there and sign up. All right, I'm out of here,
Go ahead and
guys.
Put me down.
Have a good
All
one.
right, guys.
Later, taters.
Good night.
Later.